All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Lang Trading Chat Room. It is May 25th, 2023. Hope you guys had a stellar day yesterday, ready to rock and roll. Get back at it again today. As always, we're going to start off by reviewing the market bias, take a look at the SPY and the Qs, determine which way we think the markets are going to head today. After that, we will take a look at the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. Once we review that list, it will be time to start day trading. So that is what we will do. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything that I'm doing, anything that you're doing, any stocks you want looked at, cryptos, ETFs, whatever it may be, make sure you throw that up in the chat log. We will get right to it. Before we get started, we got to talk about money management. Guys, make sure you are practicing proper money management. It's the only way to make it in this business. You're not going to get rich quick or earn while you learn. You got to do it the right way, and that starts off with very small risk and incrementally working your way up as you get consistent. If you're struggling with money management, if you have questions about how to do that, how to build a trading plan, any of that stuff, make sure you check out the Lang Trading Discord in the description below. It's a free group to join. Got some great resources in there. You can chat it up with me, ask any question you want. So make sure you check that out. Like I said, link is in the description below. All right, and with that, let's get started, guys. So we got a mega gap in the markets. SPY's gapping up almost 1%. Q's gapping up 2.3%. Guys, this might be the biggest gap on the Q's I've ever seen. I'm not gonna. This is a massive gap on the Q's. We got a pretty big gap over here, but yeah, nothing like, dude, this is a 2.3. This is a mega gap, guys. Mega gap on the Q's. So, I mean, it's all. We know why it's gapping up. Let's not play games. It's gapping up because Nvidia is gapping up. I mean, this thing's up like, what is it, 30% on one of the bigger stocks in the market. So, yeah, it's going to bring the Qs up a little bit. So, it's the main reason we're gapping up is because of that Nvidia gap. So, expect a little bit of profit taking, guys. I mean, if I was holding Nvidia, you know damn well I want to be selling some shares at the open, locking in at least a little bit profit. So, expect some profit taking on the NASDAQ as well. You're gapping up like this. Just expect this to sell off just at least a little bit in the early morning. I do have a bullish bias overall, but like I said, expect that little bit of a sell-off early in the morning, some of that profit taking. So going in with a bullish bias, but there's going to be a choppy bullish bias. Be careful early. You might get a little bit of whippy price action with such a big gap up. So just be mindful of that, but still going in with a bullish, choppy bias. Now let's get into this list here. We got some good gaps. Nvidia's making everything else gap up too. So got some real nice gaps. First up is this MU Micron Technology. So this one is gapping up really right where you need it to be, guys. This is a really nice gap. Broke out of this clean little range, chopped around a little bit, pulled back, and now it's gapping up. So it's not extended. It has plenty of room to run. Doing great volume in the pre-market. So keep a close eye on MU. This is probably my top watch of the day. So I like MU quite a bit. Next up, we have AMD. So this is the exact same sector as the Nvidia, so that's why it's gapping up. So expect, like I said, a little bit of profit taking early. This thing does have some room to run still, so we'll see if it ends up being more bullish. If that trend continues from yesterday, it's been in a pretty strong uptrend here recently. So keep an eye on the AMD. I am a little bit hesitant just because it is. The main reason it's gapping up is because Nvidia is gapping up. So be mindful of that, but nonetheless, it is still a nice gap. It still has some room to run, so keep an eye on the AMD. Next up, we got Microsoft, MSFT. So Microsoft gapping up, really nice clean gap. Another one, most likely gapping up because of the Nvidia gap. I don't know why these lines aren't syncing up anymore. But anyways, Microsoft gapping up over the little pivot right here, the double top on the 65. So keep an eye on this one. I do like it. If markets end up going higher at all, I expect Microsoft to be one of the leaders there. Next up, we have Intel. So Intel is actually gapping down. So I really do like this road of weakness quite a bit. We got this little pivot right there, about $28. So we get under 28, and we got pretty good room to drop down to 26, really even 25. So keep an eye on the Intel under that $28 area there. Next up, we got Qualcomm. So we traded this one yesterday, kind of gapped down, chopped around a little bit. Now it's gapping down again. Now it's clearly under that support. So now, yesterday we kind of fought the support a little bit. Today we should be clearly under the support, especially with the relative weakness it's showing. I mean, any of the short ideas, guys, any of these ideas that are gapping down in a market that's gapping up like this, I like it a lot just because it's showing a lot of relative weakness. So if the market ends up pulling back, keep an eye on these short stocks because they have showed some great relative weakness off the open. All right, next up we have DG, Dollar General. So this one's gapping down. It is gapping just above that support there at 201, so be mindful of that. I mean, it is in a downtrend. It is a little bit extended, a couple red bars in a row here, so be mindful of those things. But trading it down to that 201 area is definitely something I'm interested in doing, so keep an eye on it. I don't really want to trade it too much lower than that. Really 200, 201 is kind of the hard target area for me. So we'll try to trade it down to that spot, not too far past it there. Next up, we have VRT. So VRT, guys, this is actually a pretty nice gap. It needs to get over this 1780. Yeah, I really want to see it over that pivot right there. But if it does do that, I mean, it's got the gap fill all the way up to 19 bucks. So nothing holding it back over that pivot right there. Doing good volume, not a super extended gap. So definitely keep an eye on this VRT for a long position. Next up, we have MRVL. So this one's gapping up as well, gapping up on earnings. Another one just below that pivot resistance. So over 49.50, I like it a lot. Nothing holding it back. Room all the way up to 52, maybe 56 bucks. Obviously, it's probably not going to be that big of a day, but it has it in there. There's really not a whole lot of resistance up here. So keep an eye on it over that 49.50 area. Next up, we have AI, C3AI. So this one's gapping up over a little consolidation. Should have some room up to this 33, 34, $35 area potentially. So keep an eye on it. I mean, that's a pretty solid resistance up there. So I'm really probably not trading it past the $34 mark. If it's strong, we'll watch it. I mean, I do like the consolidation in the gap though. So it's not a bad idea. Up to that $34 area, keep an eye on the AI. Last up on the list is NIM, Newmont Corporation. This is a gold-related stock. So this is gapping down under multiple, this two pivots right here, like 42 bucks. We should have room down to at least 40. I mean, this thing could drop down to 38, this pivot right here. So keep an eye on it. First target's definitely going to be in that $40 area. See how it bounced here a few times. So we'll see if we can trade down to 40. Average range is about $1.30, so it has exactly that until the $40 area. So keep an eye on the NEM for a short trade. Again, another one with that relative weakness that I really like. When the markets are gapping up like this and these are gapping down, I mean, the relative weakness is really, really good there. So if you guys have any ideas, any stocks, cryptos, ETFs you're watching this morning, make sure you throw it up in the chat log. We will get right to it. We got about 40 seconds until the market opens. So go through this list again. Man, yeah, I'd really like the Qs. If the Qs was an actual stock, this would be like a stellar gap. But being an index like it is, this gap makes me think it's going to get sold off. I mean, 2.5, 2.2%. Man, like I said, I think this might be the biggest. This is a pretty big gap here. Is that a 4% gap? No way. This is one of the bigger gaps I've seen though in the markets. No doubt about it. This is one of the biggest gaps I've seen. So let's be mindful of that. I had quite a few ideas on the backup list, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of those are going early here. The Facebook. Oh, it doesn't like it when I type in Facebook, I don't think. They finally updated to where Facebook doesn't pull up. Oh, froze my computer. Man, don't type in FB. It'll freeze your system. Hey, what's going on right here? It's frozen. My thumbnail watch list is moving. My thumbnail watch list is good to go. This is not. What's going on here? I'm gonna have to refresh this real fast, guys. All right, let's see. All right, there we go. Back at it. Whew. So don't type FB into the search log. It will freeze your computer. It finally looks like they fixed it. It's officially meta now, guys. The Facebook is they don't like that apparently. All right, market is open. Let's get down to business, guys. AMD moving up early. Microsoft MU pulling in. Intel, guys. Intel is very weak. Already under that $28 area. I like it a lot. Keep an eye on the Intel. QCOM's moving up a little bit. Dollar General chopping around. We're gonna spying the Qs, man. Spying the Qs pulling in today. Pulling in early. Good morning, Yasuki. Oh my! Did you guys see Nvidia? How could you not see Nvidia? That's all I heard about yesterday. Nvidia up 25%. Anybody get Nvidia though? That's the question. Honestly, if you did, I wouldn't applaud you at all. I don't hold stocks through earnings just for that exact reason. Because look at this. Look at this. How easily could it have done what Dollar Tree did? Down 13%, or what Snow did. I know it's enticing. I know it's like, oh, Nvidia could have been up a lot, but it's like, man, just as easily these stocks can gap down. Look, Snow on great earnings, beat earnings by 110%, gap down. What was it? Gap down 13%. So, man, it's a nice gap. And if you're going if you're core trading Nvidia, that's one thing. That's different. But for like swing trading purposes, yeah, it's risk business. Guys, Intel is looking really weak at the moment. Going a little bit farther than what we want to see right now, but right. Keep an eye on the AMDs. Well, AMD's putting some massive top and tails up there, so be careful. I'm liking some of the shorts a little bit better right here. DG, as Dollar General is already down to that area where we need it to be. Still has some range too, so keep an eye on the Dollar General. It's just now getting volume in here, so careful there. VRT, guys, this one's interesting. VRT, I like where this is at on the daily. I like what it's doing so far. Keep an eye on that VRT. It's probably my top watch right now. NEM, looking good as well. You guys watch VRT. Thinking about, I'm not going to rush into this thing, but I do like this 50-cent stop loss. It's a little bit on the range concern, but we'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. There's that sell-off in the markets, kind of as expected. Like I said, you get a gap up that big, you always got to expect some profit taking, especially in the SPY and the Qs. Those things don't just rip higher forever. Those things are definitely prone to that profit taking. MU pulling in a little bit here, looking all right still. Microsoft's moving lower. Intel, guys, keep an eye on this Intel. Keep an eye on that Intel. It is already at its average trading range, but keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. QCOM's moving up. The VRT, guys, VRT. Okay, 18. It's gonna be high. Oh, son of a gun. Yeah, I didn't want to rush it. If it would have stayed right there for another 30 seconds or so, I would have considered it. But now it's chopping around a little bit too much. So hold off on there. AI. And then I need to check Meta still. So Facebook is a little bit interesting. Meta, I guess. I think I gotta start calling it Meta. I gotta go start calling it Meta maybe. MU's grinding back up towards high of the day. Keep an eye on that one. Still has some good range there. So over high of the day, look for a pattern. Don't see a whole lot else right now. Microsoft's lower. AMD's chopping around. Intel is moving up. QCOM does not look that great. I like the NEMs. I'm gonna watch NEM instead of QCOM because QCOM is just ripping, putting in some big support down there. So keep an eye on this NEM. This is extended. It is like 7, 8 days down. So be mindful of that. But I do like where it's at on the daily chart. It does have some room to drop still, so keep an eye on that NEM. Intel's not a horrible idea. It's going to be a 1 minute sell setup. I don't want to see it go above 28 at all. The 52-cent stop, you're going to need basically low of the day. So keep an eye on that Intel sell setup, guys. Keep an eye on the Intel sell setup. It'll be 27.77 by high of the day. 27.77 by high of the day. I'm going to get an order ready. I'm not going to be in there just yet, but I'm going to get an order ready for it. High of the day, 28.29. Keep an eye on this Intel. DG actually looking pretty good as well here. 27.25 is target there. All right, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go ahead and. The market's looking a little lower here. All right. I'm getting ready to send this Intel. What is this? Intel. Getting ready to send the Intel, guys. All right. There we are. Intel order is sent. Markets are moving lower with room to drop. Intel, don't need a big move out of that thing. So if it doesn't trigger on this bar, I'm going to cancel it. I'm not going to give this thing any time. If it doesn't trigger very soon, I'm canceling it. All right, there we go. We're in the Intel. 27.77 by a high of the day. All right, there we go. In the Intel. This was a 52-cent stop. So I'm going to go ahead and raise it that, lower it a little bit to 42-cent stop. A little bit of protection there on the Intel. Markets are looking lower here, still selling off, still looking weak. Q's selling off pretty good here, so I like the weakness. MU chopping around. You can still watch MU over high today. It still has potential. Microsoft pulling in, Intel kind of hanging out still. NEM hanging out. Guys, watch some of these short ideas. Watch some of the shorts. This VRT is still an interesting long as well. What would that have been? If I would have got in, it would have been a 48-cent stop. It would have been up 32 cents. She would have been up 347R. MRVL is real weak. AI is weak. Meta's pulling in. QCOM's hanging out. So, all right. So markets are they're coming into an area of support from yesterday's high in that 412.50 area. So might get a small bounce here. Yeah, still watching NEM short. Get on that NEM short. I like this. 40.65, about a 25-cent stop loss. Plenty of range on that thing, so keep an eye on the NEM. Intel is not doing a bad job, actually. Putting in a big topping tail. It was a little bit scary at first, but now it's pulled back, so let's see if we can't get a move lower there. See, I'm going to try. I would like to lower my stop to just over 28 sooner rather than later. So hopefully we get another move lower on the Intel there. This daily chart is really nice. I'm not going to lie, guys. I really do like this. Gapping down into this big void down here. Guys, NEM is looking like my favorite idea at the moment. Keep an eye on this thing short. Like I said, 25, maybe give it a 30-cent stop loss, give it a little bit of extra room. It has the range, so you don't need to be tight with that range there. Getting a little bounce on the spine of the Qs, kind of as expected. I mean, this was the sell-off I was talking about early. Whenever I said I expect the market to sell off very early, this is exactly what I was expecting. I mean, Like I said, you get a massive gap up like that, you usually get some profit taking. And with Nvidia, is that thing lower? Yep. That's what you call profit taking. I mean, anybody that bought Nvidia like in the past month they're selling a few shares, man. I mean, how could you not? How could you not? So that selling pressure is definitely going to move that stock lower. MU looks lower at the moment, so not doing much with that. AMD's pulling in. Microsoft hanging out. So still looking decent on the Intel. Still looking decent on Intel. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and lower this stop a little bit more. 2809. 2809 on the Intel. It's going to be a 32-cent stop. So 32 out of 52. What is that, like 0.6R? So 0.6R risk on the Intel. All right. NEN still looking interesting. DG, VRT. VRT is going a little bit too much now. Did it hit? Would it hit target? It would have been 48 cents, went 50. So it would have got target. If you would have got in right there. I mean, it was aggressive, but it was definitely there. It was aggressive, but it was there. MRVO pulling in, AI pulling back a little bit. Meta, QCOM. All right. So markets are pretty choppy right here. Pulled in as expected. Now we're getting in the area of support. So I expect a little bit of chop here now. We'll see if we get any sort of bounce at all. Let me check some of my backup short ideas. Had a few here. CNHI, nothing. Snow, nothing. Dollar Tree's hard to borrow, so nothing with that. We'll roll through some of these backup longs. All right. Don't see a whole lot there. So stay patient. We're not even 15 minutes into the day, so we got plenty of time, guys. Don't try to force any trades early. Don't try to break the bank when you don't need to. MU's looking lower. This one's going to be tough to go long on at this point. I mean, it is pulling up into an area of support. So this double top, pseudo double top at 68.50. Keep an eye on it. The Intel's still looking okay. Intel's still looking decent. Really need a breakdown. A break under that pivot would be lovely. What we got here? Hey, thanks for the follow, my man. Of course, if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you are asking those questions. All right, guys. So we're at a. Really like to get down to the half hour risk. I'm gonna go 2603 or 2803 on Intel. So now we're down to just a half hour risk on this thing. A 26-cent stop out of 52. So half hour risk on the Intel. Half hour risk there. Like I said, markets are looking like they're gonna bounce. So hopefully Intel keeps that weakness going. Markets are in an area where they're looking a little bit higher right here. Huge. All right. Don't see much on my list right now. Just kind of hanging out. MU's a little bit lower. You can still watch this for a long position. If this gets real bullish and gets up to that 69.80 area, keep an eye on MU. All right, there goes the 1 minute chart. So we are on to the 5, guys. I only trade the 1 minute in the first 15. After that, I switch it up to the 5 minute chart. So only trading the 1 for the first 15. After that, it's all in the 5. Intel still moving a little bit lower. Need another breakdown out of this one. So let's rescan the list on the 5 minute. Guys, NEN still looking very interesting. Under 40.65, about a 25 to, probably, like I said, I'd probably give it a 30-cent stop loss. But keep an eye on the NEN. DG moving up a little bit at support. So this is what I was worried about. I was talking about it in the pre-market. I like any or DG down to this pivot. It got down there real fast, so we didn't have a chance to trade it. But now that it's there, it's bouncing. That's going to be acting as a support. So if we get a position, a pattern, I mean, under that 201 area, you can look at it, but be mindful you are above that whole number at 200. So this whole area on DG is likely to be a support. So it might be tough to go short on that one at this point. VRT is looking good. Man, that was a nice gap, guys. Ended up being real nice. Right in the pre-market, that last 5 minutes, it ripped it higher, got it over that resistance area, and now it's just continuing up. So good stuff there. MRVL's pulling in. AI's hanging out. Meta's hanging out. QCOM. There's Intel. Intel's doing a good job. We need 27 out of 25 out of this. 27, 25 out of the Intel. That's a full target right there. Coming down to the low of the day. We'll see how this holds. This is a pretty, look at this 1 minute. This is, that's a pretty stout green bar bottoming tail. So I expect at least a little bit of a bounce here on the Intel. Hopefully we end up getting lower than that. But like I said, I do only have a half R risk open on this thing. So we're pretty well protected at the moment. We'll try to, I don't want to be too aggressive with this, but I probably will lower my stop down to like a 27.90 area eventually. So keep an eye on that. Guys, NEN, shit, NEN. I'm about to get an order ready on this. 4065 by, what are we doing? 4065, 4095, 30 cents, right? It's going like right here, so going like right here. Well, I'm gonna get this. Get it into the limit order. Guys, there's a few reasons why I don't like this. Actually, I really don't like how extended this is, man. We're down 1, 2, 3. This is 7 days and 7 red bars in a row. You are into a void, but I'm gonna hold off on the NEM. There's something about that. I'm gonna give it some time. I don't like this 1 minute either. I don't like how for a breakout I like it to rest at the bottom. I don't like how it just triggered all the way from up here down here. So we're gonna hold off on the NEM for now. I still think it's a viable trade. It's still a decent idea, but I'm not gonna rush into that thing just yet. Qs are looking a little bit lower here. Looking like we might get a breakdown under 337. The SPY is kind of chopping around, hanging out. We're just in the Intel still. So Intel's still doing a good job. All we need is a breakdown under this low of the day, basically, and we're at target. So looking good on the Intel. Let me see something. I'm using some wide stops recently. I wonder what the tight stop would have been. It went 33 cents, so I could have gave it a little bit less room, no doubt. But like I said, I really don't mind giving it that wider stop. Really don't mind it too much. So Intel's all the way down, back towards low of the day. Looking good there. I don't see really anything on my long list that's showing any sort of strength. This profit taking early in the morning is really dragging everything down with it. So I mean, like I said, kind of expected. Markets gap up that high. You gotta expect them to sell off a little bit in the open. NEM hanging out. See, NEM's getting a little bit better down there. Don't want to see it go really any higher than 40.80. So keep an eye on NEM, but be careful there. DG still bouncing. And that VRT was definitely the best long idea. No doubt about that. VRT was definitely the best long. AI is very weak. Marvel, weak. Meta is pretty weak, so QCOM. I suppose you can keep an eye on the QCOM. Under yesterday's low, like 101.50, you can watch it actually. That's kind of interesting here. That's actually kind of interesting on QCOM. Here we go. There it is. Let's keep an eye on the QCOM, guys. It's got to get. I don't want to not under low of the day. I don't like that at all. You should look at this 15-minute. You still got some support right there at 101.50. So if it gets down there, bases up, gives us some sort of pattern. I like it. Until that happens, I'm not taking it. So see Meta bouncing. Let's see. Meta bouncing at the 249.60 area. I mean, yeah, this is where you got some support right here. Yesterday's high? Yeah, from yesterday's high, definitely in an area where it can bounce right at that 250 whole number. I mean, you guys know we're humans. We like whole numbers, so every whole number is usually at least a little bit of a support resistance. So I could definitely see it bouncing right here. See on this 5 minutes down quite a bit. And one last thing on the 1 minute, getting a little bit of a volume spike there. Not crazy big ending volume, but it is a little bit of a volume spike, something to note. So yeah, definitely an area where it can bounce. Definitely a spot where it can bounce. How far it will bounce, who knows? That's yet to be determined. But this is definitely an area where it looks like there's definitely some buyers and sellers at 250. See how this was? I mean, it's just chopped around that area for a couple days now. So expect a little bit of price action in that 250 spot. Within that first green bar. I mean, you're down 3 bars. Anytime you're down 3 red bars or you're up 3 green bars, you got to be thinking the opposite direction, at least a little bit. Come on, Intel. Hopefully you're not thinking the opposite direction. We're down 4 red bars on the Intel. Hopefully this thing just drops. It's looking pretty good, honestly. In this 1 minute, I like it. This 1 minute, it's basing up down here at 27.40. Looking like we may get a breakdown. So stay patient on the Intel. I'm a little bit tempted to lower my stop even more from half R. 27. Another thing though, I really do not want to get tagged out of this. Really not trying to get tagged out of Intel. But I think we can lower our stop to 27.93. Comes all the way back up there. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep that open. What would that be? 1650. So maybe like a 0.3R risk. 0.3R risk if we did that. So keep it open. Keep the option open on the Intel. Not doing anything just yet. AMD's bouncing here. AMD's going to be tough to trade, guys. It's already exceeded its average trading range. This thing's pretty sloppy. I don't know what's not a whole lot to do with it. Let's see what NVIDIA's doing. Another one. I mean, it's down a lot. I'd see this thing just kind of chopping around for the rest of the day. I don't know. I would not be surprised if we stayed in this range. It's done a $20 day. My goodness, bro. NVIDIA's had a $20 day. That's insane. Might be one of the biggest days it's ever had. That's wild. Yeah, I could definitely see NVIDIA just kind of chopping around, hanging out. Maybe it goes higher, but not for me, guys. I mean, anytime this thing goes any higher, you got to expect some people to be selling. I mean, you got to expect some profit taking. That's why you can't trade stocks that just are super duper extended, because that profit taking starts to become an issue. There's NEN, man, bouncing up. Would have just barely peekabooed you in there. So if it comes all the way back down and bolts again, I like it. But DG's just hanging out. VRT, this one's probably done. It's already doubled its average trading range up quite a bit. So it'll be tough to trade that. MRVL, man. It's another one. It's going to be tough to go long or short there. QCOM. Making sure my thumbnail watch list is all synced up here. AI, man, there's a lot of these stocks that just really sold off real heavy early on. I'm gonna scan the S&P, see if there's anything popping off here. See if anything's showing relative strength. Adobe, strong. Already a little bit of a range concern. Intel getting a little bit of a bounce here. Not a big concern yet, honestly. I mean, it was down, like we said, 5 red bars in a row. So minor green bar bounce is a healthy pullback. Yeah, I don't see much else for my scan right here. Getting a little bit of strength. I'm looking at this daily and hourly chart. That's whenever I'm scanning this list, looking for ideas to add to my favorites list. I'm looking at this daily and hourly chart. I want to see stocks that are trading into a void. I don't want to see stocks that are running up into a bunch of junk, into a bunch of resistance. It's not my trading style. So yeah, I don't see anything that fits my criteria really right now. So I'm not going to trade anything or add anything to our list. Is Meta still bouncing? Hanging out at least? Yeah. I mean, stocks, I say it all the time, stocks, they got to correct one way or another. Either they're going to correct via price, they're going to put in a little V bottom and bounce back up, or they're going to correct via time, just consolidate. But one way or another, the stocks, I mean, they can't just keep going down, down, down forever. It's got to get that little bit of rest, whether it's price or whether it's time. But those are the two corrections that you have in a stock. Good morning, Casey. How are you doing? Looking at IFF. Check it out for you. Alright, IFF. I don't know if I trade this stock. International Flavors and Fragrances. Oof. Sounds fancy. Specialty candy. What? I gotta see what this stock does real fast. Hold on. Used in food, beverage, personal care, and household products. How about that? Founded in 1833, Mylanta. This is a old school company. Just flying under the radar. Sheesh. Alright, IFF. Let's take a look at the trade though. Daily chart, short entry. Got it. Love it so far. Nice. Getting in down here at 80 bucks. Nice. I like that. Stop at 87. Very safe stop. Nice. Right above that pivot. Good stuff. Target's going to be down in the $67 area. Oh, I like this. I do. This is a nice stage 4 downtrend. Really no support. I mean, next area support's maybe in the 67 area, 70 bucks. But no, I like that a lot. I think this thing has a lot of room to drop in a very, very strong downtrend, very weak downtrend, I suppose. I guess it's a downtrend to be weak. So nice weak downtrend, breaking under support, not super, a little bit extended. So you may get a little retest of this $82 area, but definitely got room down there. You might be in this one for a little bit because it is a bit of a wider stop. So you might hold this for a couple days, couple weeks maybe, but all in all, I do like this trade. It's a nice one. It's a nice trade. IFF. I've never heard of that. Intel. Guys, Intel. Come on, baby. Just broke low of the day. Let's keep that trend going. Let's keep it going. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to rate lower the stop, 27.93. 27.93 on the Intel stop. So now we have a 17-cent stop loss here. 17 out of 25. So yeah, it's like about a third of our risk open on the Intel. So we don't need a whole lot more out of that thing. Another 12 cents lower. We're at full target there. So don't see a whole lot else at the moment. MU's. And you can, like I said before, you can still trade this over high of the day. It's still within its average trading range. You see here, average day is $1.86. It's only done $1.80 or $1.35. So this thing gets all the way back up to the high of the day and shows some strength. I will keep an eye on it. AMD's tough. It's exceeded its range, put in a big toppy tail up here. So there's not much to do with AMD for me. Microsoft. Microsoft is one you can still keep an eye on. Still has a little bit of range left. If we get a little bit of strength. Man, why are these lines like... I got this synced, right? Are all my drawings synced? Yeah, my drawings are synced, but... yeah. I don't know why the drawings aren't... Like, I'll delete a drawing on one chart, and it leaves it on the other charts. I don't know why. But it is what it is. Alright. So... NIM is popping up, so would have tagged this out. So good stuff holding off on NIM. I wasn't worried about this extension, guys. That was my main concern. I didn't like how the breakout triggered, and then I was worried about that it was 7-8 bars down. So for those two reasons, I did not get into NEM. Saved us an R, it looked like. AI, tough. That CKC, I'll check that out in just a minute. And VRT, what a beast. He's a beast. Good morning, Bull Wins. How you doing? Yeah, that debt ceiling. Do you think they're gonna announce that they're raising it, or are they just gonna default? I don't know. I mean, I imagine they're gonna raise it, but I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we defaulted. It wouldn't be the first time we defaulted, so you never know. One way or another, though, market's gonna go. If they raise the debt ceiling, then market's gonna rip. If they default, then oof, market will probably tank. So one way or another, I do see a move happening. I was paying attention, pretty close attention. I haven't really looked in the past few days, but are they talking about raising the debt ceiling now? Is that what they're talking about? I know like a week ago, there was a lot of talk about how they might just default. I don't know what that would do for the markets, but can't imagine it'd be good. So yeah, when is that announcement too? Isn't it like by June 1st or something? Or June 2nd? Like I know the deadline's coming up pretty quick. Deadline's coming up pretty quick for that debt ceiling announcement. All right, Casey, looking at CSEE. So another one, very nice downtrend, looking lower, got room to drop. Nice. Going short, 40.50. So right here, stop loss 43.88. So a nice safe stop loss, about $4. Target of 35. Yeah, it should have room down there. Might have a couple pivots. Yeah, you might have a few pivots. Maybe at $40, you get a little hang up. But I think 35 should definitely be in the works. Maybe get a little hang up at 37 as well. So it's a minor pivot there. But yeah, this thing definitely has a room to drop. Looking lower, especially man, if it gets going underneath this breakdown right here, like 41, it's got room to drop. So I do like that quite a bit. Nice trade there on the C. All right. Intel, man, we're just about there on Intel. We needed another 8 cents. So hopefully we get that last little drop on Intel. NIM. Yeah, there's not much to do with NIM anymore. Still watching the Q come under that 101.50 area. Still watching it under that spot. Give me 1 second here. There we go. All guys got any open positions? Any open trades, open swing trades? I do have a couple swing trades actually. Let's take a look at these. So first up we have FSK. So we're really just chopping around, hanging out. Next up we got MDB. So another one. Had a nice little pop early. Pulling back a little bit here. The Rumble. This thing's looking good, man. If we can just get over that resistance at 1030, should be good on that. The Toast looking good, gapped up over resistance, so hopefully we get a continuation there. VNT, another one really just hanging out. And then the Frog, we entered this one today. I don't know. My order was at 23, limit order at 23, so I'm not sure if we got filled or not on that. It should have triggered. I'll have to check. Yes, so we did get filled on the Frog. So this is an open position as well. So we got about 6 open right now. June 1st is the latest they can go. So June 1st, they have to make a decision then. Huh? Okay. Either way, markets will jump. Yeah, no, if we default, man, we're going to 400, 380, 350. Like we're down there. We're gonna be down in the dumps, I think, if we default. We'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's been such a choppy year, man. It's been such a choppy year since the start of the year. Look at this. This is what we've done so far in 2023. Just rip, pull back, chop, 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 chop. So maybe the debt ceiling is what we need, man. Maybe the debt ceiling is what we need to actually get some direction out of this market. That would be either bullish, bearish, I don't care. Just give me a little bit of more direction. It's been just an utterly choppy year. You're looking at OGN, Casey? Let's check that out. Check it out. OGN. Going short. Another nice short trade. Looking at a nice downtrend. This is an IPO. Okay, so this is like all-time low right now. All right. Getting in right over here, 20 bucks, 1980. Stop loss, 2080. A little bit tighter on the stop. They only need 1875 out of it. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. Probably get a little bit safer if your stop was just over that $21 area, right at that double top pivot. But not a bad one at all. Definitely a weak stock. Definitely got room to drop. So I do like that. And a nice weak downtrend. Another solid short trade. Health tech, pharmaceutical. Did anybody make any money on NVIDIA? Honestly, I want to say I hope not, because if you're swing trading or day trading NVIDIA, man, I hope you didn't make money. If you're a core investor, you're core trading it, which means you're holding it for like months to years at a time, that's a different story. But man, if you're swing trading that, where you're holding it for a couple days, couple weeks at a time, holding through earnings like that is so aggressive, man. So aggressive. We were talking about it earlier. Sure, you might gap up 20% like NVIDIA, but just as easily, you could have gapped down like Dollar Tree. You could have gapped down like Snow. I mean, this one, like I said, Snow had positive earnings too. So just be careful whenever you're doing that earnings stuff. Just be careful. Make sure you got like some sort of, maybe you're doing it with options, so you have like a limited risk or something like that. That's okay, but just make sure you guys are managing that risk. You do not want to be caught on the wrong side of that NVIDIA gap. And that's the type of stuff that blows up accounts. That's the type of stuff that will put you out of the trading business. You do not respect it, and you do not manage your risk. Moves like what NVIDIA just did today, they can put you out of the trading business. So make sure you guys are being careful. Make sure you guys have a plan for that type of stuff, okay? So, all right. So really, just the one trade for me today so far, guys. It's been a pretty choppy morning. As expected, we had a nice sell-off. And then since then, we've really just been chopping around, hanging out on the SPY and the Qs both. So not a whole lot of direction here. Really just, SPY's looking like it might go a little bit lower. Maybe trying to break down under 412.50. We'll see. That would be nice for the Intel position, no doubt. But MU's chopping around, AMD is chopping around, Microsoft doing the same. Intel, come on, Intel. We just need a little bit more out of this thing, man. Just a little bit more out of Intel. NEM. You can keep an eye on it. I really don't like that thing though. QCOM, guys. QCOM is probably the best idea I see right now. We're going to need to base up at the support area, but if we do get that, do get some sort of breakdown right here, keep an eye on that one. It does have a ton of room to go lower, and there's nothing holding this thing up. So keep an eye on that QCOM under that 101.50 area. AI is weak. Meta's, we're getting that time consolidation, that time correction on Meta. I was talking about it earlier. You get two corrections, either via price or via time, and we are getting a time correction where it's just going to consolidate, let those moving averages catch up a little bit, and then maybe we get another breakdown on the Facebook. DG hanging out at support. And VRT. This was the one trade I think I missed today, guys. I was looking at it even, almost had an order ready for it on this 1 minute pseudo 3-bar play type breakout right here. We've been high of the day by low of the day, 48-cent stop, went 76 cents, so easily would have hit that 1 hour target. So that was the one trade I feel like I kind of missed today. Nonetheless, we did get the Intel. We are in Intel. Marvel's, that thing just dropped like a rock, man. Like a rock in a lake. Hey, thank you for the follow, Chillin' Chuck. Why is TradingView so laggy? I don't know. I usually don't have problems with it. I genuinely don't have problems with TradingView, but when I do, man, it is laggy. Like it's either all or nothing, and usually it's nothing. Most of the days I don't have any issues with TradingView at all. And every now and then I'll have a day where it's just like I can drag my mouse and it's like a 2-second delay almost, where I'm trying to load charts and just everything's frozen. But most of the time, I'd say like 90% of the time, TradingView is like spot on, good stuff. There's that 10% where it does lack a little bit, but even running the trading stream, even when I'm live on the trading stream, it usually runs pretty fast, pretty smooth. I can switch through these charts without a ton of lag. I guess here we are, lagging a little bit now. I think today's one of those days where it's a little bit more laggy. I wonder, we are doing more volume though, looks like. Well, maybe not. That was yesterday. This is a pretty big volume day with NVIDIA. I would imagine we're doing a little more volume than normal, just because it's NVIDIA gap. I mean, everybody and their dog heard about NVIDIA last night, man. So everybody's got to wake up in the morning, check out, see what NVIDIA's doing, maybe buy a few shares, maybe sell a few shares, So you get big gaps like this, and the market too, I guess, just the market in general. I mean, if you have a lot of cash allocated in the SPY, the Qs, I mean, you gapped up, your position's up 2% today. So that usually gets some extra eyes on the market. You usually got some extra eyes whenever you get that big of a gap up. So maybe that's where the extra lag is coming from. I don't know. But it is just a little bit laggy today. I'll give you that. I mean, let's see if the Facebook froze my platform earlier this morning, so let's see if I can type in Facebook. All right, so we're good. We're good. But yeah, it definitely froze off the open this morning. I had to refresh my whole chart and stuff, so definitely a little bit of lag there today. A little bit more frequency on the servers, And SPY is basing up at 412.50. Real nice. Looking like it might get a little breakdown here. $1.25 on the stop. See, the problem with trading the SPY like that, though, say you get in right there, 412.56, you got $1.25 on your stop loss. So let's go. 56, you got $1.25. You're going short. Say if you had a $25,000 account, which is what you need for pattern day trading, and your risk is 1%, you'd have $250 risk. You're gonna need 200 shares, so it's gonna eat up almost all your buying power. You would have $100,000 worth of buying power because you get 4-to-1 leverage, and this one trade is gonna eat up 82,000 of it. 80% of your buying power in one trade. So I mean that's actually not even that bad though. We've seen the SPY with even tighter ranges than that, so that's actually a little bit doable. But giving it a dollar stop, you can't do it. A dollar stop, you can't do it. You can't trade the SPY with a $1 stop. It eats up all your buying power. You won't be able to do it. So that's why trading the SPY and Qs is a little bit difficult because it's just such a tight range stock or instrument for how high of a price it is. When you look at the average trading ratio, average range ratio, you can see this bottom number right here. This is takes the average range divided by the price, so it tells you about how much this moves in 0.121. That is about as low as it gets, man. It's about as low as it gets. Thank you for VRT. Long. You took some VRT? Well, I'm glad you made money on it. I'm glad you made some money on it. Did you get this early trade here? Was that 1850? Yeah, 1850 by 1875. Would you use like a 25-cent stop loss? 25 would have been a little bit tight. I'm glad you made money on it. I'm glad you made some money on that. I'm very glad about that. Although I will say, I hope you have a trading plan with it. I hope you're not just randomly buying and selling just because I mentioned it. I mean, if you have a trading plan, you have a entry criteria and stuff, I am more than happy to help you give ideas. More than happy to give ideas, and I'm very, very happy you made money on that, man. I really am. But like I said, just make sure you got proper money management. You didn't just blindly buy just because I mentioned it. We're in the trading business for the long haul. We're not here to get rich quick or to just follow somebody else. Like, if you want to do this for an actual living and make some actual money off it, you got to make sure you're doing it on your own, with your own criteria, with your own management, all that sort of thing. So there's not a problem at all with getting advice from people, getting ideas from people, getting even whole strategies from people. But just make sure when you implement those strategies, you're doing it with your own thought process and your own trading plan and stuff. So, like I said, though, I'm very, very glad you made money, brother. I love seeing that. I love seeing it. Anybody else make any money today? Anybody else get anything going? This intel, I feel like I definitely could have used a tighter stop on this. This really did not need a 50-cent stop loss. I could have easily gave it 40 cents and been perfectly fine. Would have been out of target. So the fact that I'm still in this trade and not at target is nobody's fault but my own. I was just being a little bit too safe there. But nonetheless, looks like we still might get to target despite the wide stop, despite everything. Looks like we still might just get down there to target. So we'll see. Guys, SPY's looking a little bit lower here as well. SPY's looking a little lower, putting in some topping tails, setting up this breakdown at 1250. So I don't see a whole lot of short ideas right now. I don't see a whole lot of shorts. QCOM potentially, but otherwise not much on the short side. So I would like to get another short position maybe, but I just really don't see a whole lot. As a CNHI is a little bit interesting. It is just above support there at 1313. Snow's already had a massive day, so going short on the snow might be a little bit tough. All BLQ. This one's hard to borrow. So, all right. So wow, pretty choppy day, guys. Pretty choppy day. As expected, had that big sell off early, chopped around here. So spine Qs just really hanging out right now. Hey, ooh. Ayo. Boom. 1R. Intel. Full target. That's that, guys. Masterclass in patience. There we go. Got the 1R on Intel. I'm looking at QCOM still, guys. QCOM is an interesting idea. I am interested in the QCOM. I'd really like it if it just got down to 101.50. I don't want to get in above support. That is a big concern for me. So it's right at support right now. 101.58 is the actual support level. So we are right there right now. Going a little bit lower, it looks like. So all right, there it goes. So if this thing I would like a better pattern on Intel, honestly. Not Intel, QCOM. I would really like a better pattern here. But not looking too bad. Keep an eye on it. Markets are looking a little bit lower, but honestly, despite how they are looking lower, we are at a lot of support, guys. I mean, we got a double top from yesterday. We got 412.50 is a double top right here. Look at all this junk to the left at 413. Like, this is definitely an area where we got some price action. So don't expect this to just drop and rip all the way down to 410. I mean, there's a lot of buyers and sellers in that area. So just really expecting some chop, man. Really just expecting some more chop. What time is it? Man, it feels like it's later in the day. It's only 10:23. MU just really sold off heavy. AMD's kind of trying to grind higher. If you want to be aggressive, you might be able to scalp some AMD. You got to give it a wide stop though, so I don't know about that. Microsoft hanging out, Intel. Ooh, baby, I love me that Intel. Look at that. That was a nice trade, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, the only problem with it is I did give it a wide stop. I gave it a pretty wide stop. I didn't need to do that. Could have tightened it up just a little bit. 40 cents would have been perfectly a-okay. But nonetheless, we did get to full target. So all is well in the land of the shorts. And then very, very tempted on them. Almost jumped into this thing. Would have gotten tagged out. So that would have been, we saved ourselves an R right there. QCOM's still interesting. QCOM's probably the only thing I'm interested in, honestly. Yeah, AI is weak. Meta's weak. See, this is kind of forming a breakdown, but again, similar to the SPY, it's like, how far do you really expect this to break down before it gets bought up again? And maybe you get a 50-cent move or a dollar move, and then you're at another area of support. So, not a ton of range there on the Microsoft or Facebook. I think, yeah, the only thing I could have done a better job of today is taking this VRT. That initial VRT. I'm glad you made some money on it on Vega. That initial little right here, I was looking at it. Little pseudo 1 minute 3-bar play. Would have been low today by high today, 48 cents, and it went all the way to target. Yeah. Just grind it on up. All the way there. Lovely. So that was the only thing that I feel like I missed today. Otherwise, I think it was a pretty solid trading day. Like I said, I really don't see myself trading anything else. QCOM, like I said, maybe you can watch that, but it's going to need to give me a better pattern for sure. Casey, you going short on the Intel daily chart? Let's check it out. I think it has room. I do. So you're getting in right here. A little bit extended on today's move. So you're getting in at 27. Stop loss 28, 26. So bad stop over that high of the day of today. Not horrible. Target down to 25. I think your target's in the right spot. Maybe a little bit higher, just because I mean that is a double top, so you're definitely gonna get some support down there. So yeah, not a horrible trade. It is a mildly extended down here at 27. So maybe if it didn't quite trigger in, pulled back to like a 28 or something, maybe you get a better fill there. But definitely got the room to drop. Definitely got a nice void. It is making some higher highs, so be mindful of that. It was in this very clear stage 4 downtrend. Now it's in a pretty clear stage 1 trend, almost very early stage 2, making some higher highs. Maybe this could be a higher low right here. Maybe it bounces at 26 or something. So be mindful that it is in a stage 1, maybe stage 2. Uh, but nonetheless, it does look pretty good. Pretty good there. Pretty weak, I guess. All right, guys. So I'll be on here for another, I guess, 10 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. If you're not already part of the Lang Trading Discord, make sure you join that. Link is in the description below. It is free to join. I will be in that live voice channel right after I get off the mic here. So if you guys want to talk to me, no, I guess face to face, person to person, whatever, voice to voice, definitely hop in that voice channel. We can chat it up, ask any questions you may have in there, get some more in-depth answers than what I can probably give you here. So definitely check that out. Definitely join if you're not already in there. Like I said, it is free to join. Link is in the description below. So don't hesitate. Don't be shy. And, I mean, honestly, pretty choppy day in the markets, guys. Pretty choppy day here. Can you guys see that? You can't. How about that? Look at that. Start logging some of these trades, man. Start getting it going. Get the journaling and back testing going. You guys do journaling or back testing, trade logging, whatever? If you don't, I highly recommend you do. Look at this. This is my trade log. You guys want to see it? Give you a little preview, a little sneak peek preview. Here it is. Boom. There's the trade log, man. 157 trades. There it is. Got you everything you need, man. Everything you need right here in the trade log. Log every single one of my trades I've taken live on stream is logged right here in this trade log. I got criteria that I track. I got notes that I track. So if you guys aren't doing this, highly recommend you do it. If you need a resource to do it with, you can hit me up. I can get you this spreadsheet, or you can look up TradingView, or not TradingView, TraderSync, TraderView. I think it is TraderView, isn't it? Hold on. TraderView. Yeah, so it's TraderView spelled like that. TraderView. That's another trading journal tracker. So there's a few good online ones. Like I said, I do like the Excel sheet that I have. That's my preference. So, like I said, you guys need some sort of sheet, make sure you join the Lang Trading Discord. I can get that to you. Low price. It's a lot cheaper than what you're going to pay for those online courses, at least, or online platforms. And it's, I don't know, if you guys are good with Excel, you can manage or update the sheet how you like and make edits and changes. So if you need that, definitely hit my line, shoot me an email, join the Discord, send me a message, whatever it is, however you want to contact. Carrier pigeon, if that's your preferred method, go for it. Do we have a lot of international viewers in here? Are there any international viewers, or everybody domestic in the U.S.? Where you guys from? I'm curious. Man, I still want that list of names, man. I want that list of names. I want to know where you guys, who's watching. I want to know where you're from. Give me it all, man. All the data, all the information. All right. So, yeah, I'm really not seeing anything else, guys. Like I said, I'm probably done trading for the day. I just see this market chopping around, not doing a whole lot. Hopefully, it closes between this area. If it closes in this green box, I have a credit spread that's going to be in the money. So hopefully, we get that to work. Louisiana. Casey's from Louisiana. Oh yeah. I'm from Missouri. I don't know. I think you guys know, but I am from Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, to be specific. Actually, got my Chiefs shirt on today. One of them at least. KC Mo, baby, born and raised. I'm not one of those fair weather KC fans, bro. I've been a fan of the Chiefs since fucking Matt Castle was our quarterback. Since Trent Green was our quarterback, dude. I've been a fan of the Chiefs. Louisiana. You a big Saints fan, Casey? New Orleans? Yeah. Casey's from Louisiana. How about that? Oh yeah. If I would, if I would have guessed, I don't know if I would have guessed Louisiana. I really wouldn't have had a lot of cues to figure it out though. So you give me a lot of stocks to look at, but you're not really saying a whole like. I can't determine your personality from the stocks you give. So go Saints. All right, there he is. Go Saints. Well, good luck with that. Who's the Saints quarterback now? They got. I don't know who the Saints quarterback is, man. As you're looking at Walmart, let's take a look at Walmart. And Walmart is one of the stocks that really doesn't move a whole lot. It's got a average trading ratio similar to the SPY, so it doesn't have a whole lot of big days. It's kind of a grinder of a stock. So usually this one eats up a little bit more buying power. You're looking at 145. Stop loss at 147.50. Right up here, right above a little bit of a resistance. Basically today's bar. Target down in the 142 area. So yeah, just below that 200 period moving average. So I would be a little bit cautious of that, but definitely has some room to drop. Right at the, I guess it's right at a 50% retracement right now. So I mean, it has the void, but it is a little bit extended down. I mean, you're down out of the last 9 bars. 8 of them are red, so be mindful of that. It is a little bit extended down there, but definitely has some room to drop. At least down to this 144, maybe 142. You could definitely get that, I guess. Down to that moving average, maybe get a bottoming tail right there. Peekaboos, you're out of target. Coming off this double top, it does look pretty good. This isn't a very much a stage 3 stock right now. In that stage 3, you see we get in the stage 2 uptrend. We get that stage 3 consolidation. So in that choppy stage 3. So yeah, another move lower could definitely be in the works. Still trying to figure out QB. Yeah, I mean ever since Drew Brees left, it's just been a rotating door, just in and out with QBs. But yeah, that's the way the NFL works. If you don't have a QB that's actually worth something, you're not going to be worth anything. Like this is a quarterback league, and let me just say, I could not be more grateful with the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. I think you guys know why. He's just a stud, absolute stellar player, man. Never seen anything like it. And for him to be on the Chiefs, it's like, oh, it just really makes everything better. Like to be the team that people hate and the team that everybody wants to beat. Like from the outside looking in, it sucks. You hate that team with everything you got. But man, when you're that team, when you're that guy, it's like, oh, it's just not a better feeling in the world, man. Just to every year we're Super Bowl contenders, man. Like every next year we might go back to back. Who knows? Ah, it's fantastic, dude. I think we got another. Was it 2 rings right now? 2 rings, 3 Super Bowls. I think we got another 4 or 5 rings. Honestly, I think we could beat Brady. I think he can get 8 rings, depending on how long Travis Kelsey stays around too, man. Because that dude's getting a little old. How old is he, man? He's like 30, 34 now. I don't know. Crazy. Let's see. 33. So yeah, he's getting up there a little bit. So hopefully he sticks around forever. We're gonna TSIM, Tower Semiconductor. All right. Going short, 37.50. Ooh, I do like this a little bit, especially if it doesn't trigger today. It just chops around, gives you that little daily 3-bar play. Definitely looking pretty solid. Target down at the 33.50 area. Your target is down there a little bit. You might have a little hiccup at that $36 mark where that gap fill started, or I guess where that little pivot is before the gap. But overall, really nice void. Looks to be in a bit of a downtrend. It's still like a weekly chart. You're still kind of in that stage 2. This is in that stage 3 kind of area. So yeah, almost maybe transitioning into the stage 4. So I do like that, especially like I said, if it doesn't trigger today and gives you that 3-bar play on the short side, it looks a lot better because you are down quite a few days in a row. 4 days here, you were down quite a few there. So you have had some rest, a little bit of consolidation, a little bounce right there. So yeah, this 1 day of rest would definitely help you out. And this is a wide range bar though, so be mindful of that. It's a 3-bar play, but that's real wide range, like triple the average trading range wide. So be mindful of that, but definitely has the void to drop. Definitely has a nice little pattern trending in the right direction. So I do like that thing. Not bad on the semiconductor. What's what the semiconductors doing? Oh, wow, TSM gapped up massive today. Wow. Why wasn't this on my list? Where did this went? I did not see this at all today. That's a really nice gap too. Gapping over 2 pivots right here. What did this do? Not a whole lot to do with. You maybe could have justified this buy setup. Not the world's best buy setup. But maybe get in right there, like $1.23 on the stop loss. You've been up $1.38. So I mean, that wasn't the world's worst trade. Definitely had I take it back. Had a pretty big range concern. You were already up $3 whenever that buy setup would have been triggering. So might have been tough. Let's check the 1 minute real fast. Ooh. For 1 minute, you could have another little pseudo 3-bar play right there, 76 cents, maybe even you probably could have given it $1, a little more room. Would have got it right there, so not too shabby. Not too shabby on the TSM. I did not have that on my list, so I'm a little bit curious of why that did not pop up on my list. Was doing low volume in the pre-market or something? No, that thing was doing good volume. That's really weird. Real weird. I don't know why TSM was not on my top of my scanner. I'm not sure. Look into that. Interesting. But all right, guys. So that's probably gonna do it for me. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. You guys have been great. As always, make sure you guys check out the Lane Trading Discord. It is free to join. You got nothing to lose by doing so. So make sure you check that out. I will be in that voice channel right after I get off of here. So if you want to ask a more in-depth question or have a conversation about trading, make sure you join that. Don't be shy. If you join, just pop in, say what's up. I'll unmute myself and start talking. So with that, I'm probably going to call it a day, guys. Just the one trade on Intel. Just scalped out that 1R on Intel. took our money. Now we're gonna run. So a pretty choppy day in the markets. After that mega gap up, we had the profit taking early, and since then we've really just been chopping around in this range. So pretty solid day. Other than the VRT, could have been a little more aggressive. Could have scalped that VRT, but nonetheless, not a bad day by any means. I will always take a +1 hour day. So yeah, like I said, appreciate everybody for tuning in. We will be back here tomorrow morning, 9:20 Eastern time. So I will see you then. Until then, take care, guys. Have a great, great day. Make someone smile today. Do something special for them. All right.